Hello, Internet! Welcome to another exciting episode of Ordeals of Livistio. I know the stream said stream ending there, but it's not ending. It's just beginning. You guys are here. Thank you all so much for showing up. Rube, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Having a lazy Sunday. And now, I'm going to war.
You are.
Whoa.
Huge. McLarge, even. Hen, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I cut my hair. Gonna be dyeing it again soon.
Huge.
I got tired of the hair in the face. It never lasts long. I always end up cutting it super short again.
I getcha. Greg, I see you got a haircut as well.
I did not. But thank you.
50% chance to be right.
Generally, you'll know if I get a haircut because I trim off the nasty ass beard at the same time. I'm well, I suppose. I went to the gym today and I've been like dizzy ever since. So I'm winning, but I'm here. I'm ready to see if we win a war.
No, don't step on the keyboard. No.
Indeed.
Oh, I thought
Victory.
you were talking to me for a minute.
Don't step on the keyboard, Greg. God.
Corin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just like a typical old man, I woke up from my afternoon nap and it's time to go to war.
Exactly. We love waking up from naps and going into combat scenarios. How about you, Red?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. Had a weird day. There was an explosion near my house.
Whoa.
Some people thought it was a good idea to let's have a bonfire, but let's cover it in gasoline, and then to ignite it, we shoot it with a shotgun. So
As
that
you do.
shook a lot of houses and shattered some windows in my area. Fire department had to go out there and apparently tell them you can't do that. The laws very much say that's
I thought we
against the
could do
law.
what we want.
It's
So
garbage,
this is-
baby.
This isn't America? We can't do that?
Other than that, had a good day. It's going good. But how are you doing, John?
Yeah. I'm a little bit sick. I think my nephews and nieces gave me a stomach bug since it's the first week of school for them. And, you know, I've been vibing, I've been writing, I've been prepping, and I've been playing D&D with the boys. So I'm happy that, like always, I get to end my week with you all. But as we think about ending our week, we have to really think about ending our week here, because I need to know what happened in our last session so that I can get in the mood. I don't know about you guys, but I need a little bit of a hype thing going on. What happened? Anyone? Who did it last time? You're off the clock, but someone else needs to get on the...
I think I did it in like 15 words or something.
Yep, that's
Also, I don't want to be like that guy for you, John, but Sunday is the start of the week.
Sunday's
No,
fucking
the-
the week.
Kill you, Red.
No, it starts.
Sunday's the
People
start
who
of the
say
week.
Sunday is not the start of the week. I don't care what they teach you in Gregorian
can-
calendar school. A normal person works Monday through Friday and has a weekend Saturday and Sunday. You start your week on Mondays. It's like, unless you have a
You can
different
That's
choose
schedule.
whatever
capitalism
staunch
talking,
belief you want.
I
alright?
don't care if that's capitalism talking.
Whatever
it's the
belief you guys
system
wanna
we live
choose.
under.
I'll let you choose that.
To be
It's
honest,
just
the
a
difference
fact.
is actually a religious issue, so be careful.
That is true.
Christians can
It
fight
is a
Alrighty.
Judaism and Islam that believe it starts on Sunday.
Woo!
Let us go ahead and do our recap, because we live in John's fantasy world now, and he says it starts actually on the 10th day of every month. So, Greg, would you like
Yes.
to do our recap?
Sure, I will do your recap. So our session began with Glynis awakening from a dream with a deep sweat and a face full of ink. as he dreamed of a demonic portal opening inside the kingdom of Livistio, and the sexy voice of Bryce Bronson speaking to him about his ambitions and whether he should go for them. This, of course, brought us to the river where we had many shenanigans to clean up. But as we were in the course of doing that, a letter from Emil Hammer showed up via courier or writer, seeking audience with the head of the Ailean camp. So I gave it to the gravedigger because he's technically the head of the camp, and they agreed to parlay upon the Great Bridge. And as a +1, I was suggested he bring Dizem, which he does. And there, they are met by Emil, of course, and a handcart with a geezerly old man that is wrapped in a blanket. They exchange prisoners for free, which turns out to be a hell of a tactical gambit later on, but seemed like a cool move at the time. And the cackling old man is introduced as Casper to Dizem, who we later learn is a Belian mercenary of some renown. He has gained quite a bit of militaristic genius, or at least the reputation as such, in a previous war among the Doges. No word on where their coin is at, but he emerged the victor. Dizem kind of plays a cool card for a moment. He sticks up for the prince, calling him honorable to the old man, and then offers to heal his eyes, which he succeeds in healing half a glaucoma and maybe a stigma in one eye, and is thusly rewarded later with a bag full of coins. Yancey goes into questioning mode amongst the refugees and finds amongst them a tailor, a halfling tailor of no consequence that they decide to rough up a little bit and keep their eye on. Baseless accusations of organized crime were made.
Compromised.
I don't know what you mean. I just owe a friendly halfling tailor a favor, Anyway, the Neordians use this opportunity to advance their troops under the cover of the refugees and make a play at forming a strong line while we hold council and try to figure out what to do. We decide to send Son of Sigus with a Twitch streamer and a young scout deep into enemy lines to try to cause havoc. Word has it that when Millman comes to the United States, he'll be part of that new campaign where we watch the Son of Sigus and the Twitch streamer. But in the meantime, the rest of us, under the cover of darkness, water walk across the river, taking our whole army over the wall and into the city itself to reinforce the flagging defense there. As it turns out, as we did this, the Neordians were attempting to sally out and take the gates, which we are quickly able to reinforce and turn back. We learn that the Equestrian Club has kind of taken control over a leaderless vacuum. That the garrison has yet to sally forth from the castle, despite rumors that it had deployed, and it is largely unorganized and leaderless. So we dispatch ourselves and our army to gather our forces, form the human Maginot Line, and fill that void of leadership. While also sending Yancey to, as the 34th in line of the throne, to command the third. Oh, now it's third. There's been some murders apparently in between sessions. Yancey is now third in line for the throne, bringing into question the this well-being of my sister. But we'll talk about that later. And has been sent forth with Sneferu to talk to this garrison, try to figure out what's going on with them and get their butts into gear, while Glynis, Dizem, and Ursale gather the troops and prepare to face down this threat.
Indeed. Let me go ahead and grab some more tokens on the map. Very good recap. Thank you so much for giving it to us, Greg. And that, no, I'm not going to do
Ready
that.
to slay.
Fate Glynis, also known as Beyonce.
That's a great fan. I wish I had been looking at that sooner.
My prop for today.
Wait, show me? I didn't see it. I was... Oh my god. Now that's
See
something
you
we
next
need
Tuesday.
to get for Millman.
Yeah, that's
for
what
sure.
it says. Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
Good god. You know, Fate Glynis, you have a new fan. It's hot out, you know, it's spring, it's muggy, it's watery season, it's the crack of dawn on the, I believe the 19th now. Yes, the 19th of April. All of the events that occurred last session occurred between the 17th and the 18th, it looks like. Or rather, just the 18th, excuse me. So now it is the morning of the 19th as you head towards a secondary stone bridge, where you can see that there is a garrison right in front of. Mostly of archers, some spearmen, some knights, unmounted of course, putting on all manners of armor. Some have simple lamellar or splint mail. Others are just donning chainmail and with a breastplate on, pretending that they have plate mail, but they don't, mechanically. Others are getting ready to halberd the fuck out of some things, while others are stretching out their backs, about to go and shoot some people, it looks like. And as you trot up on your stolen steed, I don't think you even have a steed. I think you literally just walk up, don't you?
Well,
You walk up boldly.
ain't no time for horses. Ain't no time. We're busy.
Noble court jester, also known as court mage, do you have the banner with you? Out of curiosity? Would you have taken any sort of precaution or measure to truly identify
Precaution?
yourselves?
I'm the prince. First of all. What does Snefru have a banner? Because Yansei does not.
Snefru has the tiny banner he attached to Tove when he sent them to the gate guards the night before, or a few hours ago.
Great. We
that
attached
he-
that to a noble pole. And
You do, so
Snefru will proudly walk with like a broom, with the top of the
a
broom.
noble broom.
Oh.
He's attached
like- it's like a handkerchief that you put up on a tiny little broomstick here that you wave around. And as you guys
the color's
approach-
wrong. It's not a good magenta.
Uh-uh.
You got it from a different tailor who didn't have the same materials and got like some details wrong. Like it's not a unicorn, it's just
more
a
of a
horse
fuchsia.
in this one.
Gotta say.
Yeah. It's like a beam of light. How the hell am I gonna get 2 shades of magenta? You guys approach this little stone bridge that connects the Keeps Island to the rest of the city of Livistio. As you approach, banner held high, there's many a confused look of like, is that really the prince? Yancey, you barely recognize any of these people, even the knights, where one of them will call out. Okay, that's super cocked, but it was almost a nat one. Oh no, yes, that's the prince. I'd recognize him anywhere. I celebrated his coming-of-age debut during the winter. He kicked a
Hey,
prince.
this guy knows me. Great.
Yes.
I do have. Yeah.
This guy claims that you are who you say you are, immediately giving you effectively
Yeah.
advantage on any sort of deception check you want to make against them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I did do the disguise self on our way up.
Perfect.
Just cover all the bases.
Just
And Yansei, as the prince, will call up. Yes, 'tis I. I'm here to see my father.
I forgot you do a British accent. You do this.
Yeah, I'm a character.
Your father? Quickly, the captain of the garrison comes forward and says, Your Highness, your father has been expecting you inside the keep. Well, I assumed you'd take boat, but did you walk through the city? It's currently beyond under siege. It's under assault. You could have been killed.
Sir, I'm very well aware of that, and yet all of you hide in here like rats. Where is my father?
The captain bristles as John gets to roll to see his attitude towards being so directly insulted and challenged. Oh my god.
By the prince.
This man has the patience of a saint, you realize quickly. He doesn't even blink and he says, Yes, it is unfortunate, but our orders are to stand guard here in this natural choke point, and then sally out when we have more reinforcements. We're outnumbered currently.
Your reinforcements have arrived, sir. I'm telling you the third time now. Let me see my father.
We do not block your path, your highness.
Great. I walk forth.
Yeah, you're heading straight to the keep. It is a bit of a slog.
I'm ignoring the fact that Yancey did not realize that he could just walk. Confidence, confidence, confidence.
See, Glennis would have just walked. This is the difference between Yancey and Glennis.
Yeah, Glennis doesn't take the time to really like sass people enough, in my opinion, as Yancey. Like,
Yancey,
really sassy with Daddy, not sassy enough with everyone else.
Trot forward with Snefru. Snefru, that was super easy. Was that what you wanted to do here with this garrison?
I'm following Yancey. I thought we were trying to marshal them out, make them sally out.
Well, it seems like you're
gotta
going
find out who's in
straight
charge.
to the king.
We're going to the king.
You guys head on over
Is he the one
to
that told him
keep.
to stay here? Did I read that wrong?
No, you perfectly. Yeah, that's
Great.
exactly what's happening. You head straight on up to the keep, the castle, whatever you want to call it. Oh. Never in your life has it looked more dreary. You quickly realize that beyond the forest, the little moat has gained some new decorations, specifically of the Neordian raid team who thought they could bum rush the castle and were brutally murdered, and then put up for full display for any other sort of Neordian raiders. It's very much a Vlad the Impaler style Christmas setup, as you look at Neordian soldiers dead and impaled, both on tree branches, both just on spears or on great big lances. And you're like, there's no way your aunt would have allowed for this decision to be made for home decor.
It's gross, first of all.
It is. It's quite revolting, truly.
There's gonna be birds everywhere, and therefore bird shit.
Yep.
It's gonna ruin our lawn. Like, it's not good for the trees.
Scraw! You hear above you,
Yeah.
seeing a crow.
I already hear.
Or is that a raven?
I'll dodge. I'll dodge the crow. I'll dodge
Yeah.
the crow offing.
Alright, you dodge it. Is Tove nearby to combat this crow?
Tove is probably nearby.
With Tove's luck, the crow's gonna claw its eyes out.
Tove, no! Don't
You
die.
call back the owl who instinctually is like, I can finally win. And like a samurai prepares his claws to
Leave
duel
my
this crow that
home.
could one-shot it. You head on into the keep, and you will see some of the knights. None of the levy, for they have all, or the guards, the normal guards, I should say. All those people have been sent to the garrison itself. Now it is purely the 8 or so royal guards here. Two of which, well, one of which you would know is Sir Morrison, who is the king's personal bodyguard. You walk through the dreary courtyard, there being a faint mist in the morning, or fog perhaps. Head up the gate steps and hear a quiet laughter, Yancey, of your childhood. as you just have a flickering memory of something primordial, of happy times. But as you quickly dismiss that sort of weird hallucination you just heard, you head inside to the great big audience chamber, where Smiling Sam is right in front of you, staring you down an inch from your face. Hello! 'Tis I, the elf manservant. Shall I herald you in, your highness?
Please.
As you wish. And Smiling Sam, turning on, like, his big toe and pivoting partially away from you, almost kicking you, in fact, will begin to click and clack his way to the throne room itself, where you will see your father, quote-unquote. The king. Sitting
father,
at
uncle.
a throne.
It's a complicated family.
Bryce Bronson is not before him, nor near him. This seems strange,
Then why
out
is
of place.
Smiling Sam here?
Why is Smiling
Yeah.
Sam here? Your
Can I do just like a quick check around? What seems to be the state of things in this here roomy?
Yeah, give me a perception
What's
check.
the vibe?
Oh, then give me an insight check if you want the vibe. That's way different.
I want the vibe.
Let's hear it. Let's see it.
I'm much better at insight. Well, I'm decent at. I'm okay at both of them. Nope, I'm bad. I'm bad at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So.
Oh, my scroll isn't working for my thingy-mabob. There we go. A 5. Excuse me.
Big number.
That's one word for it.
That's all I have on one hand. That's one hand's worth of information.
You see Glynis's dad. Now, honestly, this is a question for Yonsei. What's your opinion of the king in these past few weeks? Has something changed
These past
dramatically?
few weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't really been thinking about him. I've just been hoping he isn't dead for the past few weeks. Like, damn, that'd be rough.
Freed of expectations.
Beyonce's general
then.
opinion is that he is by far the worst uncle someone could have. Like, not even fun at parties. Like, so
Uncle-in-law.
kind of a shitty uncle. But I hope he's not dead. You know, that's a plus. He is a king, I guess.
Well, behold, your father is here. And as he stares at you, his face a mask, unreadable, stoic. I'm gonna jump to you, Snefru, real quick to ask you the same question. What are you doing during this entrance?
Mostly observing Smiling Sam. He is usually very close with the Baron, and the Baron's absence makes me on high alert. Especially after Glynis's recounting of his dream the day before. The day before. Snefru's probably thinking of ways to neutralize Smiling Sam if he has to. And his question about the king, as far as the king, he seemed, last time Snefru was in his presence, Snefru was just observing. And he talked faster, and he took actions quicker, and either it's the changing of times that are making the king act differently, or the king is not himself. At least to Snefru, who's, again, only has a year or so's experience with the king.
Indeed. Excuse me. You glance at Smiling Sam, who glances back down at you, big old smile on his face, having the time of his life as he calls out, "Highness, I present to you your son, Goodness Marchette, first of his name. Leader of a band of the Horde. Defeater of at least 60 men in a recent engagement, I hear. Good job, Your Highness. He says inappropriately, breaking customs, and then quickly moves on. And, of course, his lovely future court jester after he replaces you, threw a dagger in your back. And, Smiling Sam, you both turn to him as he, says this. Just blatant, almost hanging-worthy declaration of intent. Your father, quote-unquote, here Yonsei, says nothing to the introduction until after a solid 3 seconds pass. You may go, Smiling Sam. And the butler, the manservant, the footman, whatever you want to call him, politely bows. Turns on his heel and goes to stand by the door an inch away from it. I saw it.
Father? Forgive me, you're not acting yourself.
Am I not? He stares at you.
I have good news.
Yes. Speak it.
Argyle is safe. Where you wanted him to be.
This is the
And I've
wrong
arrived
side.
with reinforcements.
I believe I suggested that you leave the city.
Father, the city would have been taken if I left it.
Possibly. Or they would have overextended, and we would have destroyed them with a united force. But I suppose it is like you to view my inaction as cowardice or the like, or incompetence, when it is strategy.
Father, never before have I heard you refer to yourself in these words. Is it incompetence to worry over you after no news?
No.
Or do you have some plan that I'm not aware of?
Yes. I thought we
I'm here
made
now.
that explicitly clear.
Your plan was to send me away and then let me figure out what to do?
Correct. Outside of the city.
I figured out what to do.
You came back into the city.
Yes. There was a troop going over the bridge just as we arrived, and we stopped them from entering the city. I've established commanders with the people, whoever the cavalry was in charge for whatever reason. No one has seen or heard from you in the city. No one knows if you were alive, even. Morale is low. My morale is low.
And so you doubted me.
So it came to check on you, like a good son. If I'm not needed here, then I'll go. With 10 of your men,
Give me
please.
a deception check, as you say, as a good son.
As a good son, motherfucker. 17.
Nice.
Hello, Mr. D20. It's time.
My cat is here for moral support. What's the number gonna be, Pepper? Is it gonna be a 5?
As a good son. You're actually very close. It's 4.
Good luck,
Yes.
kitty. Thank you.
Glynis, you have always been a good son. I did not tell you that enough as a youth. Perhaps I should have played a more active role in your upbringing. For it appears that you have such little faith in me that you would take control of a situation that I had meticulously been carrying out. And now I hear that the militia has formed or recovered or reconsolidated. Is this your doing as well?
Yes.
I see. Did you speak with Bryce Bronson recently?
I haven't seen him or heard from him at all.
Is that so?
The fact that Smiling Sam is here tells me that something is wrong.
There is a traitor in our midst. You know her as Hannigan Flanagan. Or at least...
I knew it!
Bryce Bronson is currently on his way to suss out if she is hidden within the walls using her illusions to plot my downfall right now. Smiling Sam is protecting me in the meantime.
Hey, your very enemies are here, Father. Can I help at all?
If you... No. That is... no choice. There's no choice there. Return to your men. Do
And
what you
what do I
feel
tell
needs
them?
to be done.
Can I ask, at least? The people in the city, they question as to why you haven't sent anyone out yet to help them. Will they be receiving any assistance, or do you need them here?
Suppose it's all been foiled now. You may take them. And he will look to you, Snefru, as he takes out a piece of parchment and an inkwell and asks you, what time is it? What hour of what day?
It's very early on the 19th, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tell him it's, you know, this far past sunrise on the 19th of April.
He will write as such, and then will write out the orders, stamp them with a simple ink press of his signet ring, not even doing the whole wax shtick. Quite literally, he dips his signet ring into the inkwell, stains it, and then presses it into the paper, and then offhandedly gestures for you to come take it.
Okay, and I will.
Give this to the captain. He is under your command now, my son.
I will leave half with you if you truly feel that you are in danger within these own walls.
No, I'm not.
Okay. For once, Father, I wish you would trust me with the information that you hold so closely. Maybe then I would not foil your plans by being arrogant.
Glynis, one day you will understand why it is I keep my cards so close to my chest. Goodbye.
I mean, not Yancey. Bye. He leaves.
You leave. You check your little orders here. It's not like they're sealed or anything. And yeah, no tomfoolery. This guy, whoever Captain so-and-so is, whatever his name, John hasn't prepared for some fucking reason. You'd think he'd name the officers, but he doesn't. You head on back, walking for another 20 or so minutes when you get to this guy who did not block your path and pointed out as such, and will quickly take them and say, "Oh my goodness, we have a deployment! Let's go fucking kill him!" And there's a huzzah that is immediately called.
One moment, just a minute. I would like half to stay here.
Half?
Half. We have brought our own reinforcements, and I believe it'd be best to not leave the castle unprotected in these dire times.
Okay.
Snefru goes to like take Yennis into a conference. It's like, His Majesty has the 8 royal knights. I'm sure he'll be fine as long as the Sally port's closed. We could take the entire
such
garrison.
A small number, dude. Like,
it's 8 royal knights and Smiling Sam, who, as much as I don't like him, I don't want to fight him.
I just would feel bad. I don't know. I'm not used to this power thing. Like, how many guys are there? Like, he looks up very briefly to like do like a quick head count of how many people is gonna be half. You know,
like 175 people.
That's half.
That's half.
That's fine. That's a great number.
Glynis would probably want all the troops.
2/3.
What are your Highness?
Glynis loves his daddy. All right.
He does.
He would leave some here.
Leave a gate detail. Leave 30 for the gate and the bridge. They can hold out. Okay, Yennis, it's you're the Highness in this scenario.
Thank you, Snefru. It's your Highness to you.
Yes, your Hiney.
2/3 then.
2/3 shall remain behind?
Oh no, going with us. 1/3 stays here.
Okay.
So whoever you think would be best to watch the king.
Yeah, they will call out for 3 knights and their men-at-arms to position themselves on the bridge, on the gatehouse, or towards the forest, effectively, and keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
While you take the majority and head straight into the city. However, things have been updating in the city by the hour, and I need to change the music, for this is a burning town, and John loves his burning music. And also, rolling things. He loves rolling things. Battle Requiem? Where's my burning? There it is. Whoop. Excuse me. all along the western, mid-center of Liviston, you all are engaged in skirmishes. There are Neordian raiders, tired or fresh, burning down buildings, causing as much damage as possible. Bucket brigades have been started between the militia units as they take turns effectively slinging river water and well water onto these burning houses, these businesses, these tenement structures, as well as fighting the Neordian raiders who are propagating them, who are trying to keep them spread. It is a chaotic nightmare. There's very little unity, but where there is, you find the Band of the Horn. Adventurers who are calling out, archers who are taking shots at people down the street. There's a dog in the mix, just sort of barking. And I suppose we will focus first on Ursale. Ursale, you have been granted some men to command, as well as gathered a full militia detachment here. What is going on with Ursale in this moment? Are you muted? Comically so?
Yeah.
Yes. So, as I was saying, I think Ursale has not been a leader of men. And he is probably not as aware of the limitations and the you know, that not every one of them is a 5th level barbarian, right? So he is probably pushing, you know, too hard, too far, trying to take too many fights, and I think he would be either doing really well if it goes well, or really poorly if it goes poorly, generally speaking.
Looking on either one of the extremes, the problem with being a, barbarian in general, I suppose, is often overextending yourself and your weaker allies behind you getting sniped, ganged up on, or killed while you are engaged with beefy boys that you can't easily disengage from. I would like you to make me a perception check here, as we see how good of a commander you are, paying attention to your boys, your peoples.
Perception.
Not
best. Great, John.
The people you catch and beat to death with a maul is impressive, I should point out. You likely will just clobber some of these, 12 hit point raider dudes who are, not wearing any armor, or trying to cut at you and be ferocious. For the most part, you are like a god walking among men, just slapping people down. But the people behind you are getting picked off by throwing axes, by javelins, by groups of people who just, storm behind you, having been hidden slightly in an alleyway, and then just, attack bucket brigaders as fires are being spread all across the city. As you start to feel this desperation, we jump to, we'll just go down the line. We jump to the prince. Your Highness, you hold the main avenue.
Can we jump to Dizem?
You want to jump to Dizem instead?
I want to jump to Dizem. Because the prince is leading people, but has been very much the administrator of war to this point, and I think that fiction I would like to continue. It'd be nice to know, what the other two are doing.
Dizem, we jump to you then. You are with the Band of the Horn of the left flank. A full detachment of Neordians are storming towards you. What do you do as you watch the city burn, the people around you bleed? Delicious, delicious blood all over themselves.
Lytham's gonna do what he's best at, and that is not try to be the best out of everyone here. I'm not gonna be able to win by myself. I can only win if me and all the men around me are able to successfully work together. So, range, defense, and the moment that we have to start fighting hand to hand, by God, we are all fighting hand to hand. And still trying to keep as much ranged fighting these people while I make sure that my men don't die. Because casualties are expensive, and if I can keep my fighting force still higher than the enemy's, then I can repulse this attack.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. You are in the middle of it at all. Yelling at people, telling people to stick together, getting in the thick of a fight itself. I would also like you to roll me a perception check.
Of course. Perception. 15. A decent roll. Pretty good at that.
On a 15, you will notice that it appears the enemy, specifically the enemy you are dealing with and what you're starting to hear from across the way, they are heavily pressuring the flanks right now, Dizem. You are keeping in command. It's not nearly as bad as Ursale's situation, which you can only hope is doing well, as he is going to effectively 1v50 full units of men or be overrun and murdered. You, however, keep calm, maintain composure, throw a sacred flame out every now and again to disperse some people, and are holding your ground slightly better. Out, Your Highness, Galinus. You have been hearing reports that in the north, Ursale is not doing too hot. In the south, Dizem is actually holding his ground against more people than what you'd expect.
So I think that Galinus has kind of been forced to rely on other people to get the job done more than he probably expected to or would like to, being perfectly honest. But as he's done so, I think he has been kind of empowering the fighting men to fight, and he's been dealing a lot with runners, right? Because this has been a bunch of disorganized chaos that we're trying to bring chaos to. And I think what he's doing is directing and attempting to use his, like, book knowledge, the strategies of war that have been in the libraries and that he has perhaps practiced on in some medieval chess simulator with his father or something. I think that he's, like, liaising as needed and sending people to do jobs. Perhaps he's learning that people are good at doing the things that is their job to do. And I think that he looks at this situation and thinks that he would like to take his troops and, like, split them in half. Because there's only, like, one unit that's kicking Ursale's ass, and if we get some organized, strong people in there, perhaps enough troops can stem the tide or, like, fix that. And we have a strong position over here. Perhaps if we strengthen it, we can make it stronger. And there's very little in front of Galinus, is what it appears from the map, and it seems from the like information that he's been given. I suppose this. By his men, so he's like taking his unit and, like, assigning it to, like, march in a split formation to reinforce a weakness and to, like, win a strength.
Okay. You split your men up and have them start to move in all sorts of directions when you will suddenly hear a call out from yourself. behind you as you turn around and see Glynis Marchette, heir to the kingdom, first of his name, leading about a casual 250-ish people. Maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less. They are in like full marching mode right now as your men split off to go throw down with these raiders. How dare they invade your country?
How dare they?
As you, Glynis, are stared at by you, Glynis, some of the captains and soldiers are beginning to wonder what the fuck is happening, as clearly one of you is an impersonator.
It was not my plan for them to find out like this.
Oh.
I think what I do is I quickly throw on my best Yonsei and I jauntily gate towards the prince, and I say, "Your Highness, it was perfect. I copied your essence entirely. They bought it. The men are doing exactly as you ordered." Now,
Thank you, Yonsei. It's good to know that you're good for something.
I also may or may not have stolen another pair of your pants.
Like, wait, what?
Cousin, these are the soldiers that my father, the king, was able to spare for us.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that you told me that you needed them on the left flank. I'll get the rest of your men in the center to reinforce Ursale. And then I rush off, leaving the prince to give their orders.
Well, I trust my cousin's understanding of the battlefield implicitly. Have to...
The left flank, and then the rest down the center to reinforce
yes.
for Ursale.
Snafru, this is why you studied war.
Okay.
Precisely.
As Glynis, you dart off, Yonsei, you're starting to feel your disguised self flickering in and out of reality, knowing you have like...
Excuse me. I go pee.
You do a quick switcheroo.
We do a switcheroo, yeah.
You head to Ursale.
Okay. Good job.
We gotta switch the clothes though.
Okay.
Alright, go get him, Tiger. I gotta talk to you about your dad later. He was weird. Bye. Butt slap.
Alright. Everybody, John is going to use his new mass combat rules to do a little bit of calculation. And while he is doing that, you all spread out along this quite large battlefield in skirmishing pockets. This battle being somewhat risky here. Go ahead and narrate what each of you are doing. Starting with Snefru, and let's work our way up.
I suppose Nefru heard about Ursale's troop difficulty, so he's gonna go assist and look for spellcasters to lay into if he has to. But mostly just to buffer and support or rally Ursale's troop.
I think probably when you get there, Ursale and maybe a few of his men have been like cornered in a building where he's just holding them off their superior numbers. And I don't know, maybe there's a fire started in a back corner as they try to burn us out. I don't know.
He's in a tight spot, one might say.
A tight spot, you say? If I get close enough, I think Snefru will look for the press of troops that are trapping Ursale and try to give Ursale a signal and then grease underneath those troops.
Perfect. You will definitely be able to pull this off. Guys, feel free to take the reins here in terms of the narrative. John is calculating modifiers. I'm finding the weakness of his system.
And then we can bust through and meet up with our reinforcements as we just the folks pressing the door are unable to keep their footing.
And start throwing out fire bolts and all sorts of things with whatever troops I was sent with. Basically being the hammer to your tiny, tiny anvil.
I'm just trying to hold. I'm just trying to hold the line. It's a lot of men. A lot. There's a lot of men at my doorstep. But if I can hold the line long enough, then we're good.
Yeah.
I just need to repulse twice as many men as they try to attack with.
Yeah, Red is just overwhelmed a little bit and just like, I gotta hold this damn line, holy shit, what's going on? And I think Glynis sees these, like, knights marching in, like, just stunned that they actually came. Like, he feels like he owes Yancey, like, at least a nice lobster dinner or something. It's like, oh my god, like, I had no faith at all that this was, like, going to work out. Not because Yancey wasn't gonna do a good job, but because he didn't trust his dad to, like, not let the city burn. And so he's like, okay, this means that I get to be the hammer. And he's in the process of trying to get the garrison troop to just come smash them at the, like, he wants to force a confrontation at Dizem's, like, line. So as Dizem's like, oh god, hold out, suddenly, like, the ground starts shaking and he sees knights riding to, like, down the street to, like, come help him.
Okay. You will do so. What is Yancey up to in this moment?
I mean, Yancey was not here for a lot of this, and Yancey is primarily a support person. Let me look at my spells. But if they're, I've got some area effect spells I can throw down if someone needs help. Or if there's a specific area that I can go to do some good old shatters and I got some thunder waves in me. Got a fear spell.
Yeah. You terrify people with your terrifying sorcery.
I don't know where at. I'll go help Dizem. Dizem seems to,
I'm a prince, you say.
Yeah.
Join. Let's fight with
This is where
Diz.
your playing dead joke probably is a smash hit, because now you get
absolutely.
to come back to life after being dead, and I'm sure that freaks out enemies for sure.
I'm
Like,
here
oh my
for it.
god, that one's dead, and now it's attacking again for the third time.
They have a dead.
Run.
They have a dead.
It just keeps working. Like they believe me every time. This is a great audience, honestly. Really sad they have to die. They've never experienced like this joke before. Like it's
Yeah.
and Yancey definitely at some point was like, "Do we have tips? Like, do you have a criticism for me at all?"
Enemy combatant is crying and weeping and slowly backing up as you shuffle the undead shuffle towards them. Do you have any tips for me?
Is it too much? Is it?
Casting your spells, playing your tricks, stabbing men, a lot of violence occurs. You all fight bitterly with these Neordians, who seem quite resolute on not giving ground either. Come sundown, when all of you are exhausted, every single one of them... you don't actually need to post your spells through this, everyone. I'm not going to force you to subtract spell slots here. You guys just being present alone, throwing cantrips out is enough to swing the tide, as it were. However, you guys will notice that there are some simple, low-level spellcasters dispersed around the city. Part of the reason why these fires are going up so quick is people with firebolts, people with control flames, people with create bonfire are currently out and about, burning down this middle section, which you guys have been fighting in the edge of. It is not looking great for them or good for you as the sun begins to set. You guys have been up for effectively 2 days now without break. And as the Neordians are beginning to realize that visibility is going to become crunked, your mostly human armies begin to naturally fall back into more defensive positions. This day of fighting having effectively been a stalemate. And the party, after, chasing down, realizes quickly that they need to regroup or they will overextend. And surely the wise prince would not order a charge in this moment. He would call for his tired men to gather up to strategize in this moment. Right? Right, Glynis?
I think it provides a good opportunity to rest as well, because I have a group of men getting arms and armor from the blacksmiths. If the fighting will retreat, what I'll order is for the fresh garrison to essentially set up a line and be like, you're our defense, right? Defend us. We are tired and hurt, and we're going to rest. And then I'm like, there should be within the next day a large amount of supplies for our undersupplied militia, right? Armor and weapons that are better than what they have, and fresher men coming with them to some extent. I split my forces over and over and over and over again, consolidating them, getting fresh, getting supplies sounds great. So yeah. I guess I want the garrison who's pretty fresh to make sure there's no sneaky business and defend us, but rest sounds wonderful.
Yeah. You all will post up in a church next to the main road where we set our scene in noble Livistio. Party, you're exhausted. Command has now been relegated to more experienced sub-officers. Ursale's unit has effectively been not quartered, but they have suffered more losses than anyone else. As John is updating numbers to himself, don't worry about it. What does the scene look like for you all as you drag yourselves into this church to speak amongst yourself in a little council here?
Glynis,
Yes.
your dad is weird.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your dream might have been more prophetic than you might have understood.
I'm slightly concerned that your dad is actually Baron Bright from Lawson.
Or at least under his control.
Yeah.
I think that is a possibility. There's been talk of a demon in our court from before the shapeshifter even arrived.
And as we talk, we hand out cheese and water.
Yeah. Recreate the larder situation that's been in the past.
Impromptu pantry party for the party.
Yeah.
Impromptu pantry party. Love it.
That, or he was this entire time hiding a very what would you describe this as, Neferu? He was very cold. He was very calculating. He was very...
Well, that wasn't what scared me. What scared me is he told us that my arch enemy, Hannigan Flanagan, has betrayed him.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Now, as you know from our long discussions, Your Highness,
Yes.
if a Brimish mage doesn't want to serve you, they will not.
Yeah.
You don't hear about betrayals as often.
Mm-hmm.
They will just leave you high and dry.
Yes. That is concerning. Do you wish to track down your
Ooh, we doing a stealth
A
mission?
company? That's my
We
question.
I'll go in the castle. I'll do it. I'll sneak.
I think the city being sieged is probably more pressing. I will send Tove to see if he can suss out Flanagan's whereabouts.
Can you turn Tove into a rat?
Oh, and you see Snefru is like dog tired. Like there's blood all over. Like there's viscera dripping off the brim of his hat. And he's dog tired, and he just looks. And he goes, "I need a brazier. Hold on."
I'm just saying, I feel like a rat would get into the castle easier.
Yes.
Does
yes,
Hannigan Flanagan have her own familiar?
She's used some before. I don't know if she currently employs one.
Because if she does, we can try and look for it. That'd be convenient.
We
Yes.
did we had a whole summer where our familiars would like battle each other and like pull pranks on each other. So Tove can probably find Flanny's little rat. If it is
Also
indeed
a rat? Oh, rat
Now-
love. I'm so happy for this.
If it is a rat, would it not be
There's a
wise
story
to keep
here.
Tove in
Yeah.
the form of an owl, as it is currently? I think owls eat rats.
But owls can't get into the castle.
Flanny would probably recognize Tove better if Tove was a cat, because that's what we used to do.
Mmm, it's hot.
But no, I'm greatly distressed at this news that a Brimish mage of a higher circle than me would betray their
Do you
oath.
think it was a betrayal? Or do you think
I
would it be more likely if the king was compromised, she figured that out and it was like, well, my loyalty was to the king and he's not here anymore, so peace. She's stuck because they found a way to keep her there? Or she's trying to get away and she's running?
No.
She's trapped
no.
in the castle? No?
What would cause a Brimish mage to go against their oath? Well, your dream pretended to demons, and that would cause a Brimish mage to betray their oath. So that is my initial concern. That there's some sort of infernal machination behind the Baron, as we've suspected.
Yeah.
And if Flanny, I'm saying this, if Flanny discovered that, she would have been honor bound to do something about that.
Is she honorable?
Most of the time, no, but she hates demons as much as I do.
Yeah.
So
Because I feel like there was a whole thing about the Neordian mage also betraying Rimland, or like something or another.
You look at Yonsei's novelty fan and wonder for a moment where in the hell they eluded that during the battle.
There was a fan store on fire. This one survived for reasons unknown.
oh shoot, I should have checked on Marco.
Oh damn.
Oh well. Hopefully he survived.
Ursale, Dyson, Glynis, you three have watched these two magical spellcasters talk about wizards and the stuff of the keep. I assume Snefru and Yonsei will just give them the rundown of what occurred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any thoughts you'd like to add to the conversation?
Your dad did 100% believe I was you, though. Like,
That's good.
some of the best acting I've done, honestly.
I had full faith in your acting.
Yeah, thank you.
I never thought for a moment that they would suspect you. In fact, when you speak, sometimes I think that you are doing it better than I, so to speak.
It's all about stage presence, man.
Yes, yes. will work on my stage presence. I suppose my question is, what is our need from the spell casting side of this? How shall I say? Do we need to track down the spellcaster? Is it of the highest importance? I know my father is a strange and calculating person, colder and perhaps under some influence, but my priority at the moment is not him. I came over the walls to protect the city for fear that they would not be protected, and under advisement that this might be the best use of my men. My focus is on the war effort, and I hope to pivot to the state of the castle some other time. But if the mage poses such a threat that we need track it down, then I would feel obligated, I suppose, to ensure that that is done.
I would be more worried if we cared to save the mage than to track them down for fear of what they will do. I have a feeling that if the mage is still here, that your father's men will find and make short work of that.
Okay.
I think my main concern is that we can't split ourselves and fight a battle on two fronts. But if at the end of all of this, whatever was going on in the castle and with your father turns out to be the worst that we could have expected, and we had a chance to stop that before it became a bigger problem, we could be going from one war right into a civil war.
It could be. But I cannot fight two wars.
I say
have
we.
one in front of me, and
That's why I feel like we should
one later.
investigate and figure out.
I
If
say
that's-
we.
in the front.
I say we keep our focus on our goal: save the city. Focus on the enemy spellcasters lighting fires. Worry about our flanks.
I don't know. I feel like your dad is playing chess on like a different plane of existence right now that we just.
I laugh nervously at that, remembering the ozone layer being peeled apart.
I am not useful in a war situation, so if someone needs to dedicate time to investigating things.
If you think that it is worth your time to investigate my father further, I would give you full leave to do so. But my focus, I say tiredly, I think must remain with the fighting here.
I'm not gonna leave the men I just fought with for a whole day. The people I tried to save, many of which died to wounds I couldn't mend, to chase a wizard around a castle.
Well, she's a witch, but
I think that the concern isn't the witch, it's the potential of dark side of the force here in play, which I agree. This has been my worry for like the last 17 sessions or so, but yes, I don't have the ability to do anything about it, frankly. And if you do, please.
If we save the city, we might stop it altogether. Mayhaps.
I mean, yeah, I think a good way to also prove your loyalty to the people here and have them on your side if things are in fact as bad as your dreams say. You know. Okay.
I don't follow Perhaps I am too tired. I apologize.
If things go to shit and you need to kill your dad, it's good that people like you.
Oh, yes, I agree. I hope that's not what it comes to.
I mean, I hope not too. But I am nothing if not someone who thinks the worst possible things and then
I
ignores
value
them.
a good pessimist
Yeah.
as an advisor. Yes.
I can do nothing about these terrible things, but I can tell you about them.
That is the way I feel as well. When it comes to the castle, if Hannigan were to pose a serious enough threat to our backlines that we need track her down, then I suppose tracking her down would be important. But as far as the dark heart of my father, I think that it is not something that I can combat at the moment or even understand fully.
I go
Yeah,
where you
well-
need me.
In order to win the city, we have to stop them from getting reinforced.
I agree with that. I think that now that we have the garrison at our disposal, I wish to force a deciding battle, so to speak. Make the front line ours, I suppose. The best way to put that. And in the process, we have a wizard with Fireball and a party of hardened adventurers. Perhaps while the fighting is going on, we could take care of those reinforcements and boats and whatnot.
Ooh. A strategic strike force with me and mayhaps someone with Shatter to work on the enemy ships.
Indeed. That was largely my thought process, yes.
I'm down to destroy some more ships. That was really fun. That was... I
Good.
dream about that day sometimes.
So, we need to win a decisive battle. And our troops are resting. And we're trying to resupply, get better equipment,
Indeed.
and probably fight very soon again.
Yes.
Not a great plan, but if we would like to, we could send a few men to keep faking into harassing the enemies, making them not fully get rested. Keeping their guard high all night, thinking that there might be a charge
Oh,
when they're
do
least
some
expecting it,
terrorizing.
making them truly exhausted. Even if we can't do the whole line, just one side, it would give us a place to put our men to punch through in the morning.
Okay, so I have an idea. Just run it by you guys. I am a tired little half elf. But I do have the thunderclap spell. That's very loud. And I can cast that intermittently throughout the night towards the enemy.
Yes. If you think that is a good idea, Dyson. I have very little in the way of fresh troops. I have little in the way of uninjured troops. I have little in the way of materials. I do not think I can harass them myself. I think we need to rest. I need to rest. Been up for 2 days straight, and I do feel like I'm going to pass out at a moment's notice. But a magical onslaught of cacophonous noise would seem quite disorienting at the very least. I support that. I fear for your safety. To get close enough to bombard them sonically, you would probably lose yourself. Not in the fun way. Perhaps We would need some detachment to go with you.
You can do it another night. Let me think it
Eh,
might go better. Just put that in our back pocket as an idea.
I'm loath to take Cayman's militia from the gates, but if you needed a fresh set of bodies to harass them, perhaps they could be used.
Didn't you say you left some men at the castle?
Me? Yeah.
You guys-
They got a job to do.
troops that haven't fought.
To guard
in a
the
long
man you
battle?
said we would have to kill after the war. I smile weakly.
Well,
If we wanted some fresh troops, those are a lot of really highly trained troops that haven't seen the battle yet.
I mean, sure. I'm fine with that. I just left them there because I thought it'd be nice for us not to show up and the castle already be sacked.
That's fair.
You know?
I don't.
They already
disagree.
got that. Like, someone already got in and they had their bodies, like, hanging from the... I mentioned this to you. It was gross. I would, you know...
I do think that Killigan is unaccounted for, and I do know the Royal Guard to be quite proficient at killing things, and, well, it is a keep. It's meant to be sieged.
No one's arguing with me on this decision. I'll take them. I'll go. I'll go cause problems.
Okay.
I'll do
I
it.
think this is a good idea. I appreciate your fine counsel. Let me.
But I'm gonna be
stretch my bows
exhausted
here.
tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to take a nappy.
Would you like to take a nappy tonight?
I need a dedicated nap time.
Would you prefer to harass them, I suppose, or like tonight, or would you prefer to rest and be fully ready for what's to come in the future?
The vibe I got was that they were already very exhausted, right?
Everyone is.
Us?
Everyone is
Everyone's
very
exhausted.
exhausted.
It's been a full day of combat, yeah.
Okay, all right. This is the best time for it then. Like, this is...
All right.
If we can
If
keep
one
them
if
exhausted-
one very exhausted person and a bunch of well-rested troops go out and cause some mayhem, you'll have a still exhausted person, but everyone else on our side will be rested.
All right.
And that's Yancey will just take an extra long nap. You know,
Very
discover
good.
coffee, maybe a mushroom or two.
I have heard of a strange treat made from the beans of a hallucinogenic plant. In
I
old
know, I gotta
tales.
find it one day, man.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be life-changing.
I think so too. All right, then, Sneferu, I'm going to leave you in charge of camp here. You have a sharp mind for tactics and the wherewithal, perhaps higher than ours, given your ability to rest slightly longer. And I will go find the rest of this garrison. I won't leave one of you out there exposed alone. I will travel with the new garrison and come with you. Let us harass them tonight. And
It's probably
Sneferu, if you-
best if you rest, Gilly.
I can rest when we're dead. Sneferu, if you could get the camp ready on the morning as best as you can, you know who's in charge and who does well. We march on them as soon as possible.
Of course, Your Highness.
Let's go, Yancey. Oh, I haven't heard from Ursali. You doing good over there, bud? You look like you've got some blood in your beard.
Just shell-shocked or something.
All right, let's go.
He just goes,
Okay. Well, this seems like a perfect time to take a little break here. So we're going to do that. And when we come back, we We'll maybe sabotage the nighttime sleepers of our enemy. We'll be right back. Woo!
Yeah.
Everyone, we are back with the Ordeals of Livistio, featuring the people who are being ordealed currently. Who is going with Glynis and Yonsei on the super stealth mission of get the excess garrison units that were left behind, and then sabotaging the enemy army? Show of hands. Who's going with them? Yonsei, surely you want to go with your prince. You're the one who volunteered for this mission to thunderclap people.
I thought I was going. Do I need to raise my hand?
I
Hell
think it's
yeah.
Yonsei and Glynis and the garrison that I'm gonna steal the rest of.
No.
And then I'm counting on my 2 generals that saw frontline action resting and healing up, and the studious war wizard to get our strategy ready to try to, like, crush what's left of the enemy forces. And hopefully some homies come back with a lot of armor and weapons for my duders.
Yes, let's resolve that first. So the militia unit has now been conjoined, consolidated, and with the equestrian club having filled wagons full of excess arms and quite literally the stolen property of what these blacksmiths have been making, they have been re-kitting over the night/evening and have created their own little regiment that they have self-titled the Prince's First for his first command. They ignore your band of mercenaries because they aren't state troops. Fuck those guys. Have some pride in your country, fuckers. But still, they have called themselves such. And as you step out, some of them come up to you in gratitude.
They're calling you a virgin, Gilly.
I mean, I'm not sure they're wrong, question mark?
The lore continues to build.
That's why you should have gone to college with me, man.
I wasn't allowed, you know, it's unfortunate, but you had to kind of be homeschooled when, you know, they're afraid of assassins or whatever. It's a bummer across the board, really.
Why risk your one heir getting kidnapped like a dumb fuck at some different college when instead you could just emotionally torment them for years? That sounds way cheaper and more effective.
Worked out.
Yep. These people will be joining as their own little army here. Come what may. Excuse me. You guys, you two rather, cousins, first cousins, second cousins, who knows your true lineal title between each other, cousins. You cross the bridge to where you believed that you had left behind, you know, roughly 30 to 50-ish goons to stand guard over the adjoining connector from the city to the royal territory. And as you expect to be challenged, you call out into the night, you wave your banner high, and, you know, your few escorts, if you decided to take any, just from the militia itself, just to accompany you through the dark city. Look out and see no one.
Okay.
You look at empty tents that are standing on the, you know, rural floor of this little island.
Okay.
They're empty tents. Like, they haven't... So the vibe I'm getting here is that they haven't picked up and moved so much as they have disappeared. Is that what I'm supposed to get from this?
They have been vanished. You see not where. You see no sign of a struggle. Some weapons are just, you know, nicely put up, leaning against boxes or crates of supplies that have been feeding the garrison for a little while as they mustered.
Okay.
Are
Well,
the dead bodies still there?
You are not at the castle yet.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a walk from the bridge to the castle.
Alright.
All right, so if they haven't moved, right, then we expected to see them, which makes me think that perhaps this is either Hannigan Flanagan or some kind of enemy like detail, which is in its own way concerning.
Or they're at the castle and we're freaking out for nothing.
Well, if they, so that's why I asked the question I did, because I thought if they were like, if they had like moved, right, if they officially had like just picked up to like go back in the castle or something, I don't think they would leave their I don't think they would leave their like stuff hanging out. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like they would at least attempt to. They'd like, you know, like military camps move sometimes, and they take their stuff with them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little worried of like Hannigan Flanagan interference, but I'm also considering that perhaps this is a ploy that my father has done to, like, I don't know, make the ozone layer split apart and fill the streets with demons. I don't,
What do you want to do?
I'm trying to figure that out myself, Yonsei. I don't know.
Would you like to hear my idea so far?
Please? Yeah.
I turn back into you, and you put on some of this armor that was left behind, and go to the castle, and just see what happens.
All right. I don't mind walking into the castle. If we're going to do so, why not just walk in as we are?
Because if something terrible is happening and they're going to kill you, quote unquote, on sight, it should be me, and then you should get the fuck out.
I appreciate the loyalty, quite literally. But I think if they want to kill us on sight, they would not spare the jester.
Well, no, you'd be dressed up like a soldier. That's literally the whole point. So they'd be like, oh, great, he brought the prince to us. So kind of this one soldier. Now we kill the prince. And then you just run away like you're really fast. I don't know if you know that. They cannot catch up to you.
Well, I suppose I appreciate that compliment. Very well. Let us make that happen. And I start putting on hella armor, I suppose. It takes like a few minutes to don, and I've like yet to really experience armor. Right? Like I've been a monk for a really long time, and like this is in my plans one day, but it's like not it's like not currently what I've been practicing. And so I don't know, this is probably like a really embarrassing like couple of ticks here. But I suppose
on
eventually
Act natural, come on.
a gambeson vest. You throw on a chain shirt. You pick up a spear. You have a short bow.
We're gonna do what's called improv.
Very good.
We
What
learned
is
this in
improv?
college.
Yeah. Yes and.
Yes, and understood.
And you guys start making your way to the castle alone, on your own son. Crossing the small road, passing by the great big pine trees that have haunted your youth for who knows how long. You will see for yourself, Glynis, the barbarity of war, as the outside of the curtain wall is currently decorated with the corpses of Neordian invaders, which seems a bit barbaric to your standards, but I suppose you guys are barbaric bear worshippers, in a weird way. Maybe this is on brand, but also, what the fuck, Dad? There are many ways into the castle that you know, or the keep. There is a secret tunnel, as it were, next to a postern checkpoint, which few people know. It leads to the dungeons that, well, just cuts through the courtyard and then into the keep itself. It's kind of like a escape tunnel, if you will, or a secret tunnel for doing prisoner exchanges. That way, you know, the prisoners don't get to see where all the defenses are inside the keep as they're escorted out to who knows where. You're unsure if that would be defended. There's also, of course, the main gate and the postern gates on the flanks of the walls. Or you could just scale the wall if you're feeling truly Metal Gear Solid here.
I don't really suppose I'm feeling scale the wall level badass at the moment. I don't know. I guess you're basically saying we can go through a secret tunnel, but we can't go through the gate. It's like closed.
The gate is closed due to it being night, but that's not stopping you from just approaching it and slamming on it until someone answers. I'm just giving you options here to see how interested you are.
I don't know, my prince. What do you think? Shall we slam on the gate?
I mean, if something real bad has happened, I'm okay with secret tunnels.
All right.
But
So
I
it
know
shall be.
you are a big fan of just opening things, so.
I do generally like opening things, yes. But
Yeah.
The secret tunnel it is, my prince. I'm but a humble soldier.
You're really, really milking this.
Any chance I get.
You head on over to the fake floorboards that you pull up. You will see the little door that you test. Normally it's barred from the other side, but luckily enough it is open for you all. Unguarded. No knight, no sentry has been put on the other side. It creaks as you enter this dark, several 100-foot singular shaft of a tunnel. Entering the dungeons, you will hear the sounds of or I suppose just groaning noises of, like, dulled pain and agony in the dark. You both are half-elves, so you have dark vision of 60 feet. You need not light. And luckily enough for you all, there is no torches or sconces currently lit that would be fucking with your dark vision. It's entirely pitch black right now.
All right.
Oh, you hear in the distance.
Oh boy. I mean, we are both half elves,
Yeah.
Yes.
so we can see without a light.
Uh-huh.
So let's get a look at who's in these cages. And is
Yeah.
one of them a Brimish?
Yeah, you head on into the dungeon cells, where you will find two people. One of which, Yancey, you remember not seeing notably. The man himself, Sir Morrison, unconscious, in pain, looking as if he had is either suffering from hypothermia or he has been physically beaten. You're unsure which. It somewhat reminds you of that time that Felix, God rest his soul, may wherever he is, got his ass clobbered by a certain manservant of an elf. You see him,
Morrison.
and then entirely unconscious, gagged and bound with their fingers interlaced behind themselves, is a unhatted Hannigan, who has been given the wizard treatment.
Oh shit.
You
And
see
go
a
have
rat.
a secret council with. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see a rat like chewing at her face and her gag as you guys.
What
are
did Snefru say the name of Hannigan's
Familiar?
friend? What familiar
Rube,
was?
you got to name this right now. Make the character.
Need help?
Azini.
I can-
Azini.
Azini the rat.
I shout, Azini!
You watch
Leave that
as
alone
the
and
rat
come over here.
turns around, looks at you, and gives out the weirdest of squeaks that sounds vaguely Samoan and or Italian.
It sounds Samoan.
Squeak!
Hey, squeak! Not Samoan, yeah. Definitely. Sicilian is what I was looking for. I don't know
Sicilian, I
why
guess Samoan. Some vastly different things.
Like, I don't.
Oh, it starts doing a Samoan war chant.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, whatever floats your boat, John. You know.
We're just doing some world building.
Rats can be. Actually, I don't know
Alright.
if rats can be Samoan. They might not have rats on the islands.
They probably do.
At this point, yeah.
I don't know. I give a shout at the rat and I say, "Come over here," and then I walk forward. I see Yancey briefly turn to me to have a quick secret
Ow, ow.
audience.
And
Yeah,
as usual, Glynis goes off to do his own fucking thing.
yeah, and then I just
as
kind
soon
of
as
like
he sees a
nod
rat,
you.
he's like, "I must touch the rat."
No. I nod you along, and I expect the rat to obey me because that's what people do. And I walk up to Sir Morrison, who I find to be a strange member of the dungeon, and I kneel before him and I say, "Sir Knight, what brings you to this dark and stormy place?"
You watch as Stormy. You watch as Sir Morrison begins to like try to sit up, and clutching his ribs, stripped of his plate mail, unarmed currently, the strangest of sights. You remember this super serious, but like had a hidden jovial side that was your father's guardian for almost all of your life. Effectively, since he turned 18, he has been by your father's side as the Livistian's greatest swordsman. Yet here he stands, defeated in a cell, holding himself and shivering as he's, "Oh, the elf fucking beat me over the head. Oh,
Sam?
yes. Bryce Bronson is a piece of shit. Oh."
I have long had that belief.
Is the king compromised?
I suppose. What do you mean by compromise?
mean?
Oh my god, I sound like
What do
Argyle.
you mean by suppose?
Has Argyle just had pneumonia this entire time? Oh,
He's had a lot of things.
I don't have the ability to heal, right? This is not a thing monks do.
Yancey
but
does.
I am a... Oh, that's fair. I could ask you to heal him. Alright. You see Glynis, like, struggling with his own, like, chi. He's, like, doing some weird fucking breathing exercises, and you're like, "Hey, I got this." I'm like, "Oh, yeah! Hey, could you maybe, like, touch up his ribs for a second? I'd really like to talk to my friend here."
Will do. And I will do another first level spell of healing word on
you
to
cast
him.
healing word as he's double vision clears. He's like, "Oh, I still have double vision. I see two of you, Your Highness. One of you is in armor. What the fuck?"
We're
really sexy right now.
yeah, I've gotten a bit of a glow up, as you can see. But
If you
I
say so.
am concerned that I find you here in the dungeons, and the remainder of the garrison disappeared. I worry that you speak of Smiling Sam as you do. Sir Knight, tell me everything that has happened that has led you to here.
And he will quietly tell you everything. As John finds the appropriate music, not cut purse chase. Thank you. Random thieves have stolen your... Let's do this. Sir Morrison, while you are helping heal him, will also point out for you to help Hannigan, because she got the worst end of the stick, apparently. Morrison will state that sometime, like maybe 2.5 days ago, to his recollection, so who actually knows when this occurred, he was summoned with Hannigan and a certain Lord of Finance and other sorts of King's courtiers to an emergency meeting. They had already heard about the war starting, and he assumed the king was going to just have a general war council to come up with a strategy to defend the city, when all of a sudden Bryce Bronson burst through the door with knights he didn't recognize, who were fully armored and had masks under their helmets to hide their faces and whatnot, and full-blown committed a coup. However, thinking that the king was, in danger, Morrison, flew into action. He described, he's always been a good storyteller and ups his antics every time. But this time it's no, yeah, I stabbed one in the chest, and he kind of shrugged it off, and then they all beat me, and then Smiling Sam did a triple Salchow dive kick on my head.
That's dangerous.
Indeed. Hannigan
It is a dangerous move. It leaves you quite exposed.
Yeah, I know, but, my arms were sort of restricted, and I lost my reaction from intercepting.
It also, hides a lot of your body from the audience. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
He really should have done a Hurricane Rana.
He describes how Hannigan tried to cast a spell, but was counterspelled by Bryce Bronson. Pretty, not even a check worthy of, literally just haha. And she was wait, what? And they got absolutely obliterated by a series of either magic or physical attacks that Morrison can't even attest to. He's surprised if she is alive, which you happen to find her stable, but currently unconscious, with the rat having ignored your command and continued to bite out the gag.
I scold the rat for ignoring the command of the prince, and then reach over to untie the gnome.
Yeah, you reach through the bars to help the witch who is currently unconscious.
Okay, but finish the story and finish what happened to the king. Where is he?
Morrison will state that he did not get up the king, his highness. It seems like he expected this. And then when the finance minister, tried to shield the king with his great big arm, his crooked arm, against the people in a last show of loyalty, he was stabbed in the back by a decorative longsword that was created in the image of his father's blade. The Lord of Finance is no more. That was
Who killed them? I'm so invested.
Morrison.
I'm still gonna find his mom and read him the riot act. Okay, that's not gonna not happen. He got abandoned by a hag mom. This is one of our storylines before war happened.
I remember.
This is still happening. I've got a list of things to do after the war, okay?
Hunt a hag down. Your son died for my father who betrayed him. Fuck you. As that scenario plays out in the back of your mind, Morrison will finish explaining that he's been down here ever since. Smiling Sam occasionally comes in here to mockingly throw a bucket of water on him and then Ray of Frost him. Just to make him even colder. It is a truly sick thing, and he's like, oh, is it constant? He, like, tries to make a mimicry of the voice of, like, oh, let's see how great your constitution is today! But it is, like, comedically or comically antagonistic or villainous.
Who's aware that this happened? Are the garrison that was here, were they aware that
I don't know. I've been
the
trapped
king
in this
was
dungeon.
not the king?
The king, to my knowledge, is still there. Unless, well, he's not down here. I think he and Bryce Bronson colluded to kill us for some reason. Your Highness, I know this is hard to hear. And he's talking to Yonsei. Thinking you're just... thinking the actual Glynis is...
I'm an illusion. I'm the result of his migraines.
Yeah.
Just some guard that he's just
I'm like holding his hand, like really so much more physical than the Glynis would ever be.
Your Highness, your hands, they're no longer calloused and shows a hard day of work.
I burned them off. Continue.
Lotion, it's a hell of a drug.
You need to get us out of here, Your Highness, so that we can recover and then kill Bryce Bronson and that bastard Smiling Sam. And also not have a diplomatic fiasco that comes with Hannigan Flanagan's death.
I agree.
Okay.
Yonsei, I was about to ask.
Yes. I will heal Hannigan Flanagan right now.
Oh, I appreciate that. Before you do that,
Oh.
I was about to ask. We have seen Smiling Sam fight. He, to put it quite frankly, trounced the master blade that was teaching me everything I know.
Felix? Yeah. I wasn't there for that.
It makes me sad when we... Were you not? Oh.
No.
You had the sickness, that's right. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Your Highness, we don't have much time. He could come back any moment.
Oh, God.
Do you want to attempt to assassinate an elf today? Or would you like to
I don't think we could.
Very well.
I think we have 2 injured people, and you're tired, and we had... Like, this is all just so much new information. I don't even know who your dad is right now. If he's alive or if he's somewhere, I don't know.
Perfect.
We have to regroup.
I agree then.
Figure out what
I
to
have
do.
my thoughts. Please heal Hannigan, and let me try a thing. So I know where the key is in this place. I'm sure I can get him out. But Glynis wants to see if he can show off. And in old D&D, there used to be a stat associated with your attributes called Bend Bars Lift Gates. And Glynis attempts to bend bars lift gates here to free his father's man.
Let's get a Chad roll from Glynis right now.
Can we get a Chad roll real quick? Can you roll Chad?
/roll Chad. Okay, yeah. Let me do that right now for you.
Hope I don't see an error.
Roll Chad. There was an error with my formula, it seems.
Oh. Unfortunate. Why don't you instead roll me a pure strength check then? Which is the closest we get to bending bars and lifting gates here.
That really is a 4 on the dice and a 3.
You pull, and then you reach your hand out as you continue to pull and grab the key.
And then I do a performance check to know. All right.
Your Highness, this guard is so powerful. He opened the gate on his own. We must keep him around. Is this Ursale? He asks. He's too small and girlish bodied.
How badly injured is Hannigan Flanagan?
So badly injured that when you heal her with a healing word, if you heal her with a healing word, question mark, spend a spell slot.
I will
heal.
do so at a level 2 if she is in fact that poor for 10.
She is coming to, stretches her, well, I guess makes noise behind her. She realizes her hands are bound. And then just, like, looks at a rat and is like, what? And seems to be dazed. If not, missing some mental faculties.
Oh, shit.
Hannigan, we really need to work on your familiar's courtesy and loyalty. But for now, you
I'm
are
not
safe.
focused right now.
Look, this rat disrespected me, and I'm very frustrated about it.
Tove would never.
Tove would never, exactly. I guess I quickly open the gates and I attempt to throw Hannigan over my shoulder and then realize I'm both exhausted from 2 days of sleep and have 9 strength and probably like buckle under it.
Yeah, neither of us are very strong.
And then we like firemen carry her like together, like the two of us swinging this body. And
Why
then
am
we
I
walk.
stronger than you? My strength is 11.
Because we rolled some pretty mid stats, and in order to set myself up to conceivably do the thing I want to do well, I dumped strength.
Damn.
You guys head out of the secret tunnel, choosing not to go into the dungeons. And you make it out just in time, for you hear the faint sing-song of Smiling Sam. I've got the water bucket, Morrison! He calls out, happily, and then lets out a, egads! They've escaped! And will quietly rush forward back up the stairs to where you hear his highly clicking and audible shoes. I need a preference, like, these are tap dancing shoes he's effectively wearing. That's how noticeable they are. And you two, plus Morrison, who is limping, and, well, I guess he's at, like, 1d4 plus con, or charisma, health. Did you ever roll his HP?
I did not roll any HP for him, no.
Okay.
What is it, a 1d4 plus...
You said first level, so 1d4 plus charisma.
That, for him, it was first level. For Hannigan Flanagan, it was a second level. So 2 plus,
5? 4? Damn.
Plus 3, apparently.
Plus 3.
Wait, no. Plus 5. No, I was right.
You have 20 charisma?
Yeah.
Based. You, Morrison, 100% combat effective if he has more than 1 hit point. Will head on down the tunnel, escaping into the night. Unsure where the garrison is. The 30 to 50-ish non-wild boars that you left behind to guard the bridge. And you quietly make your way over, hearing the caw-caw sound of the distant crows and ravens picking at the corpses. Eventually, you will stop for a moment to get Hannigan Flanagan to walk on her own, but as soon as you do and, like, get the bindings off her fingers to cast spells, she damn near walks the opposite direction back to the keep. Just entirely confused, unsure where she's going, and seemingly living in a daze right now. You make yourself back to the church where Dizem is undoubtedly made himself at home inside of a religious building, not of his own
All the
faith.
sacraments are suddenly salted.
Ursale's unconscious, sleeping. His beard's still a little bit bloody. Snefru, are you burning the midnight oil, doing troop counts?
I would like Snefru to have been taking his command from his prince very seriously and, like, using the command structure Glenn has set up to, like, rotate troops and have fresh sentries out and fresh watches and cycle horses, and you catch him, like, drawing up battle plans for tomorrow with some of the other commanders.
We will take the 3rd Avenue, this little gnome says. It's like, we don't
push
need
down
new
the 3rd
sentries. We need people to rest up for tomorrow. We have sentries out. And you're like ignoring them, like, you don't understand my genius plans. We will outmaneuver them. 4 hours, you say over and over again. Dizem, are you up listening to these people, unable to sleep, or are you conked out after your very busy and exhausting day?
I think I'm just like in my own little corner praying.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of incest ink surrounding me, piles of salt, a cauldron full of salt water that I totally didn't steal from Snefru, so that he couldn't summon his familiar, because I also need this. I am strategically communicating to the best of my ability how, in lack of better words, fucked this situation is.
As you pray for the strength of
something.
soul to see the next dawn, the doors suddenly open. Your prince has returned. Plus, your prince has returned. Plus, Hannigan Flanagan is effectively being led like a dog who's holding a weird rat in her hands like a confused infant who doesn't know that the subway rats aren't free but wild animals. And then,
They
of
are
course,
free.
the chiseled bodied Morrison, who is currently covered with like frostbite and other signs of magical influence. And as he steps into the church, he says, Dizem, you don't understand, I need help. And then he collapses again in exhaustion.
I think I would have completely understood that, Morrison, as I rush over to him.
Snaffer,
So we
you
have
turn.
news.
Snaffer, there's like one commander left. He's like, everyone else is checked out, and he's like, end the meeting. End the meeting. Snaffer, end the meeting. This is gonna be on a historical record. You need to end the meeting now.
Fair enough. And then he
Thank
turns
you.
and sees the prince, Hannigan Flanagan, and Dizem running towards Morrison. And he quick, short steps towards Flanagan. You know? Oh, gods! And he checks her out, makes sure she's okay. They're bitter rivals, but they're
okay.
But they're of the
Give
same
me an
order.
Arcana check immediately as you look into the vacant eyes of someone who used to be delightfully insidious.
Snefru, as your prince, I order you to heal her.
Yes, Your Hiney.
Snaffer, on a 27, you are going to easily clear this. God, you haven't seen this happen in literally years. When some stupid, like, first-year kid opened his mouth and talked smack to an archmage of, well, I think we should do it like this, and how he was immediately feeble-minded and made to effectively act like a pet. And you look at Hannigan Flanagan and her 1 intelligence right now. Barely has the cognitive ability of a slime. And starts petting you like you're a weird animal.
A part of me has always wanted this. A part of me, but a small part. Come, Hannigan, come here. And he'll
Kinda
tend to
gross.
her. No. He'll. Strangely enough, as much as everyone knows that Snefru hates Hannigan, there is compassion there because feeble-minded and a witch it's a lobotomy, and it's very difficult to undo.
Before you go, I would willingly give you this charge. There are things we must discuss amongst ourselves immediately. I relay to them the story that was given to the prince, but not me, in the secret tunnel, about the coup. And I say, we have 2 options as I see it. One is to immediately deal with this and to march into the castle with our troops and try to undo said coup. I think that this is a poor choice, but perhaps a noble one. The second is to bury it for now. We win this war, and then we heal Hannigan of her enfeeblement. We nurse Sir Roland back to health, and we confront Father after the kingdom is no longer at threat. And perhaps I make a small journey for some firepower that might be useful against demons in the interim. But if we go that route, the knowledge of a coup at our highest ranks must not reach the soldiers, and it must stay here between the 5 of us. 6, 7, as I remember the 2 would-be prisoners.
What kind of king coups himself?
Yeah, pardon me. A few steps back. We were cooed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Apparently.
you are familiar of the demons, of their supposed influence in our court. You'll remember well when we discussed with the mistress of the tower how she said that it is likely that they come to the demon would already be in our court and the person already well under their sway. It's my belief that Bryce Bronson is this demon and has been planning to take control of the king and to use the kingdom for God knows what purpose. And the king is become his willing pawn or has been influenced and overtaken the mind of Bryce Bronson, which we will have to deal with at some point. My suggestion is I do not believe us capable of winning that fight ourselves now. And we have a kingdom, population, a people to preserve and to save from this war as much as possible. We finish this and then we deal with the king afterwards. Or if duty calls that it must be done now, we leave the front lines. We need to march with all of our men and make this happen immediately.
No offense, but I think that we would die if we tried to take Bryce Bronson because she and Deontay points at Hannigan Flanagan is more powerful than Snefru, and she's a fucking tomato right now. So no offense.
More
I don't
of a,
think we really
great.
have a chance.
More of a raisin than a tomato.
Well, tomatoes and raisins are both fruits, and sometimes I eat them, so they're the same thing.
You know, my prince. How much healing should I put into Sir Morrison right now?
We will need him. He is going to be necessary should we wait to verify the stories from the kingdom.
So definitely use magic?
We will need his witness. If you wish to use magic to heal him, I think he would prove a valuable ally upon the battlefield. He is the greatest swordsman of our kingdom. Perhaps our second greatest champion behind the insane bear brother that we were warned against talking to against our lives.
I do have a healing potion, Dizem. You could use that.
No, if I go down, I'm gonna need a healing potion, because you won't be able to get me back up.
That's fair.
I mean, I also have healing spells.
Okay.
I
Healing
have a
shielding.
quick question. Is it wise for us to be seen with these people? What is our approach after the war.
If the
If
king
we're
wishes to
seeing-
condemn his loyal bodyguard, the champion of the people and one of the most respected and renowned knights of the entire land, then it would be a strategic misstep of a high order. It would ensure that we have allies of our own in the coming conflict. I think
That is. Good. No, sorry.
I think that his support is, without question, a boon to us. The witch, on the other hand, could be seen differently.
I mean, this is all assuming that the king is still the king, and
Whether the king is the king or not, the people that matter, should he choose to accuse his most loyal knight of treachery, the ones outside these walls, our would-be allies would be the lords and ladies of the land.
Alright, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there not something in the treaty that we have with Zuan that any demonic influence is like... I feel like we had a conversation with our with your mom and our uncle about this. About what would happen if there were demons in here.
I know not the terms of the treaty of our countries. They were writ without me. You're right. Mother and uncle were concerned that in the course of this war, there might be terms broken as such that Zuan would not defend us from Niord. But I remember not talks of demons flooding our streets. I would imagine those of Zuan would be more than happy to eradicate demons. It is their calling, after all.
We want to send some mail to Grandpa and say, hi, Grandpa. Demons, come help. Thank you, XXOO, your favorite grandchildren.
I fear that
More
time...
eloquent.
Well, no, I fear that time is not on our side if we wish to stop a new age of demons fueled by a coup from your father, my prince. If indeed that is his plan.
But they should still know. You know? If everything goes to shit and we fucking die, someone should know why. Someone that can actually do something about it.
I can't help but feel that it is on us to go and stop Baron Bronson and your father from whatever plan they have.
Is
Definitely.
Solly awake?
Yeah. Ursully's awake. He's talked earlier. Come on.
Oh, can you help me move Morrison's body onto like a better area so he's not like face forward on the ground?
No, just leave him there.
He's doing the Family Guy, like, arm behind back, leg up and twisted thing.
Snefru, what circle spell is it that crushes a person's mind like this? I fear that we're facing powers
How big
far
does your
beyond
hat?
our...
Well, since Baron Bronson doesn't have a hat, he is not Brimish, and he is definitely using a darker magic. For a traditional Brimish wizard to use such a magic, I believe it's of the 5th or 6th circle, which is much greater than my own. Oh, it's a 8th circle? Oh, it's an 8th circle spell.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's on par with an archmage.
Is it a curse? A disease? Poison?
It's an enchantment.
Oh.
It is
That's
a very,
really...
very powerful enchantment. And
Inconvenient.
I want to be like that person.
yeah,
Couldn't they
no.
scry to like find these people? Couldn't they like locate them really quickly?
If I can take a step to prevent that, actually. It'll take me a while, but I can protect us from scrying.
Snuffer starts unraveling the tinfoil.
No, he pulls out a scroll of non-detection he got from Marco Brunnock. That he's been meaning to learn, but he hasn't taken the time with the inks
I
to
wonder,
transcribe it.
what does it take to banish a demon? I've been told the silver sword would do it.
If you want it by magic, we're not close.
It is a high circle to cast a banishment spell.
Depends on the type of demon, how many bears it takes.
Correct.
I read in a play once that if you fuck the demon goes away.
I don't think that's going to be very useful in this situation.
No, and I don't want. No one here wants to fuck Brian Bronson. So
You all hear the clicking
was
of
also-
hooves as your
oh fuck.
discussion continues.
Yeah. The
Or-
next issue was
Hide them,
Is
hide them,
it-
hide them.
Say,
Is it hooves or is it shoes, you think to yourself for a moment?
oh god.
Hide the bodies.
Oh Jesus
I
Christ.
lead Hannigan over into a.
I guess
Enclave,
I want to go see
enclave?
if it's Smiling Sam.
I'm gonna cover
I spin
Morrison
on a
with my
heel
speed
and
cloak.
I walk out to see the source of the clicking.
I'll
You
go
head
with
out.
the prince.
You guys head out to see the source of the clicking, and see, in fact, a elvish manservant holding a great big lantern out, seeming to be looking around for a brief moment, talking with random people who are on sentry duty, shouting, "Ark, who goes there?" He's like, "Oh, it's me, Smiling Sam." And he's like, "Oh, it's Smiling Sam. Who doesn't know about Smiling Sam, the legendary elven manservant?"
Sam, what brings you out of the castle, good man?
You call out to this creature as his eyes, like a hawk's, focus on you. Behind you, deeper in the chapel, Dysam is over shoulder carrying Morrison into a hiding spot where Hannigan Flanagan is also being corralled into. You call at him at the gate and he says, "Your Highness, don't you just look like a stunning soldier? Oh, and so exhausted after a hard day of fighting, yes." He makes fun of you.
I walk to him so that there's a buffer between him and the church.
You and Ursale go out, and he says, "Have you considered coming by and speaking with your father's friend, my master, Bryce Bronson?"
I was wondering if that was an invitation or a strange dream. Am I
What
to
are you
believe
talking
that I am a
about?
prophet now?
Huh?
Answer
Did
me
you
plainly,
dream of
Sam.
my master? What kind of dream was it?
I stare at him expectantly. I'm putting on the most. I'd try my best to mimic my father's most regal, stern gaze, and I tell him to answer me plainly.
You're gonna have
And
to
I
repeat
wait.
yourself. I was too busy conjuring jokes to properly listen.
Was that an invitation given to me by your master the night prior?
I assume so. Not many dream of Bryce Bronson.
Tell me, Sam.
Yes.
You've seen many thousands of years, I'm sure.
Yeah,
What
just
led
a
you
few
to
hundred.
Bryce's? You've seen many centuries, I'm sure.
Yes.
What has led you to your master's side?
I don't remember.
I expected as much. We're solid. See to it that our battle plans are under control. Snam, it seems I have something to discuss with your master.
Shall I take you to him?
Yes. I wait expectantly for him to, blink me out of the, square.
He awkwardly stares at you. Clearly, thinking of some kind of joke. Why didn't you just say this to me earlier? Just, in annoyance. seemingly not having recognized that Yonsei was in fact you during the morning meeting. And he will begin walking down towards the road to the keep, having entirely forgotten what his original quest was of finding the prisoners, because this is way more important on his scale of priorities.
I follow him, and I check to make sure that I have my silver blade. If need be, I will stop and pick it up if I've been borrowing someone else's.
Your silver short sword? Longsword?
Yeah, longsword.
Okay.
Because I think I
You
have
grab
like the
four.
guards' weapons and stuff, right? I'm gonna like stop by my actual quarters and get my silver blade
Yeah.
specifically.
Are you going
You
by
hear a
yourself?
report from the guy who is like guarding your tent and belongings of your like special group himself, and he's like, apparently Millman's already messaged us back from the Western Front, as
I
it were.
expected as much from Mill. He is quite a
a man.
fancy lad. I clap him on the shoulder and I say, "You've done your job well. Report to Sneferu from here forth until I return."
As you
And I
said.
grab my sword and I leave.
You leave off. Ursala, you had trotted out with the prince. What are you doing?
Well, the prince had more or less dismissed me, right? Telling me to go see to the battle plan. So I will go back inside, and I will I'll tell the rest of the folks what happened. He's gone to leave with Smiling Sam to go talk to Bryce, I think.
But
Why would he do that?
by himself?
I guess so.
Why is he so dumb sometimes?
I mean, if we
No, it's a
race really
strategically.
quick, maybe we can catch them. They both move pretty fast, though.
I trust the prince is trying a strategic move with the Baron, but I worry that he won't return.
That's why it's stupid and not strategic, though, Sneffer.
You'll
It's a fine line, Yonsei. Strategic to
Is
stupid.
it?
It is.
Oh,
It's like genius and madness.
well. I don't want to be that person, but I think he's made his choice, and we have to really. We have a lot of decisions to make right now about war, people, the feeble-minded, powerful wizard that if they somehow cast a spell, might not be good because
Oh no, she
we're
cannot
here.
perform the components to
That's-
any spell.
Is
She
it
is-
not
she is-
a magic that you can dispel?
I don't have I have not bothered to teach myself dispel magic. If only we had someone who did.
I mean, I have Dispel Magic, but I don't know if Dispel Magic ends this enchantment.
I also have dispel magic.
Well, it's some kind of magic. I would
It's worth
know
trying.
if there's any tricks, but
Choose one creature, object, or magical. Third level or lower. Okay.
Sneffer, you would know out of turn
That's
that
check the
Feeble
spell
Mind
ends.
specifically is a complicated magic that cannot easily be dispelled. You would know that it can only be ended by Greater Restoration, Heal, or the legendary Wish spell.
Okay. Then I will tell them out of hand that no, dispel magic won't work. Sometimes with time it gets better, but not
Yep.
always. Or great
Someone
magic.
can be stuck in this state for literally years or the rest of their life if they are of weak will.
The best thing for her would be to be sent back to Brimland, where a Tower Master could assist her.
What would Brimland do once they learned that someone had done this to her?
Well, that's not the question, Yonsei. What will Brimland do? What will the Tower Masters do when they find people consorting with demons in Livistio? I shudder to think. I don't think this city will survive. This nation, in fact.
So we don't send her to Brimley.
I am honor bound. Unfortunately, she will have to go.
What the
But-
fuck, Snefru?
But that's if we survive the night or tomorrow.
Oh,
my
so all we
God,
have to
too
do is kill you in the
complicated.
night, and then we can...
We're not threatening to kill each other, all right? Just cause Achilles is
He
gone,
knows I'm
does- I
kidding.
mean, we need to suddenly fall apart, all right?
Saleh's definitely kidding because I could just do this and levitate him.
Dizem,
As you
please tell me
begin
you are
to
somewhat
Panicked,
able.
beyond threatened right now as you're realizing the implication of what's going on. Dizem, I believe his cure wounds was to Morrison, yes?
Yes, they should give him 9 HP. No,
He is recovered.
10 HP.
He looks at your beautiful face for a moment, clasps his hands on yours, trusting you implicitly, seeming to trust you more so than anything else, and he will grab you by the head and say, Dizem, you need to get the prince out of the city. Bryce Bronson has cooed the government. And he explains to you, as if this is the first time. He doesn't know that you know already what's going on.
Morrison. Morrison, you're a little behind.
What do
I
you
gotta
mean?
explain to you.
I was just sleeping
Worse
for like
than-
half a minute, right? You healed me as soon as I fell down, right? Where's
Well,
the
they
prince?
were talking over me. He's with Bryce Bronson.
We gotta get out of here. It's quickly.
We guys, just a real quick recoup. Just a quick recoup.
Yep,
So-
yep.
Our main army
Uh-huh.
outside the city, currently
Mhm.
controlled by Bryce Bronson's Gravedigger,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
the Prince,
Correct.
with Silent Sam, who's Bryce Bronson's servant, going to
Yep.
Bryce Bronson,
Yep.
the man
Yep.
who cooed the government,
hmm
and we're in the city,
Yep.
surrounded by Bryce Bronson in every direction,
Yes.
and our only saving grace is that maybe we send a little messenger to Mail Hammer if we really, really need to have a backup plan if the prince dies. Because I don't know how to explain this, but our armies aren't our armies anymore.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all under control of the cooed government.
Yes. I mean, well, that was gonna be the next question that I was gonna ask, but then a bunch of
So
stuff
our-
fucking happened. Of
there's a
like, how
chance
do
that
we
our
make sure
biggest-
the soldiers we just got from the goddamn castle aren't
Well,
Bryce
those are
Bronson's
ours. Because
ones
the
that we
rest
just
of
got
them-
from the castle?
There
Well-
are almost certainly inside men inside that unit.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Arsale. Literally no one else that we can trust except for the people inside this room.
Well, that begs the question:
And Gilly just walked himself into their fucking hands because he's a dumbass.
do we go help the prince escape by Bryce Bronson, and then make a strategic retreat with whatever forces we can out of the city? Because
One
if
of
we
us
have,
might have to parlay with the Nordians.
well, the person who would do that is unfortunately not here, and I worry that I will never see my prince again. So I feel like we should stage a rescue the prince operation.
If need be, I think I could parlay with them. One of their people.
My main
Likes me a little.
concern is that the Neordians are already working with Bryce Bronson as well.
I don't.
I
think
want
so.
to. I don't think the Nordians don't like that we were encroaching on their territory and pirating the people. They already hated us before that, but we have made some aggressive acts in the past time.
It feels like
Maybe with
Baron
the intention
Bronson.
of starting a war so that Bryce Bronson could swoop in and do the coup while Njord is taking us down, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, Njord is being manipulated by Bryce, but not being controlled.
Manipulated, I would agree, but not controlled. I don't think they like Bryce Bronson. more than we do.
I don't know if they would give a shit about our internal issues because it would just give them a better opportunity to win.
As a quick note, aside from water walking also being an option, you know that there are several boats that are taking civilians outside of the city on this warehouse district area where they've all kind of organized and are taking them into the countryside. So there is another option available. You're not necessarily trapped here, although your forces giving ground suddenly and doing a full withdrawal might, will obviously have ramifications. I need you all to think of what sort of plans that you guys can come up with, but I need to jump to Glynis here, as Glynis makes his way to the keep, where he has a choice to make.
Glynis looks at the moon. What phase is it?
Oh.
I believe it's waning, currently. Because it was at its fullness 20-ish days ago or so. Check my moon cycles real quick. Yes, the 30th was a full moon. So it has waned and done the new moon, so it's actually beginning to wax, I believe.
As Glynis walks with Sam, he says a small prayer to the Bear Mother to create a full moon.
You quietly pray. Give me a fun little religion check, just for funsies.
Sure.
Little funsy check. We love religion.
13.
I'm missing a dice. There it is. Oof. You wish Brogvarsh was here. That's who you really wish. And about Brogvarsh, you don't remember Morrison mentioning him getting murdered during the coup attempt. You don't know if he was there for that. Maybe he's out there in the wilderness of your home island with Winnie the Bear. Maybe he swam across the river like a total Chad and is now lurking in the swamp. Brogvarsh is a slippery devil. But for now, he is not here to tell you of the true rituals of invoking the great Mama Bear of Livistio.
That's fair.
You are brought to the keep. The gates open, and you will see the royal knights that Yonsei and Snefru both passed without detection. There's 8 of them. These 8 Hell Knights who have scaled skin, whose faces are demonic and sharp like an edged blade. Their eyes are entirely black, with their irises rimmed in a faded orange, as though they had seen the death of a star. You, of course, bravely, coolly walk past these guys. You don't have, like, a panic attack. This is what you were expecting, right, Glynis?
I don't think I expected demons in the flesh, to be honest. I think Glynis tries to play it off cool, but, like, you probably see his eyes go wide and be like, oh, shit. And I think I name them as I pass. I'm like, Blazer, Taser, Laser, Phaser. And I try to put their images to my memory.
Strangely enough, they are damn near identical. They are almost like clones of themselves. They are far different than the tieflings you knew. For as we all know, tieflings are humans born with heavy amounts of fiendish influence. They come out as unique.
These are made.
Yeah. These creatures are manufactured, it seems. They have no light behind their eyes either. You just watch as they watch you, with single-minded understanding of how they are to treat you. And as you walk past these people who have infiltrated, or creatures, not even people, that have infiltrated your court, you will reach the keep doors, and like a douchebag, Smiling Sam will herald you in. I'm presenting to His Highness the Crown Prince, Glynis Morchette, first of his name, inheritor of the town of Marchon or something stupid. And he will continue on doing this for a solid, 25 seconds before popping.
I correct him. I give him extra titles, right?
Oh yes,
communer with bears.
Manticore.
Leader of the band of the horn.
Slayer of chimeras.
Slayer of chimeras. Yeah, I
Chimera Slayer.
Yes.
Are you sure Sale wasn't that? He asks you for a moment as you are brought into a hall where your father, sleepless with sunken eyes and a pale face, stares at you, holding the grandfather's blade. That is not real. It is a replica, or so close to one. It is frightening.
I don't greet him. I look past him to see if Bronson is here.
Not yet.
I coldly regard him and I say, I am not here for you today. Where is your master?
Not master, son. Collaborator. And with a clicking of feet, like tap shoes, but hooved, a bow-legged, yellow and black-skinned reptilian creature stalks downwards. I need to go find his actual stat block to understand what his devil form looks like. Give me one moment. Because he is not like the others. He is changed. Let me go to my beautiful dynamic castle. Go to the day where I can find his token. My beautiful Bryce Bronson. You will see a 3-digited creature of yellow and blackish skin with 2 great bat-like wings that have spindled outward and draped over him like a strange living mantle. The ends of his barbed wings are tipped in what appears to be some sort of black bronze, etched and glimmering in the faint lights around you. There is a darkness in his eyes, but unlike the ones who have seen what had to be like a star's death, so traumatizing and absorbing, this creature's eyes are that of a glimmering red, bright, almost joyful in a way, as he regards you. You stare upon him. Beneath him, his clothing has changed. No longer is he in the robes of a low-born thing. This bow-legged, hooved guy is wearing strange leathered pants. He holds bracers that are skull-enamored with different demonic, fiendish faces on either end. On his hip, there is a sword, not sheathed, but hovering as though it were, that is dual-tipped and 4-pronged on its hilt. He looks quite scary, entirely shirtless, pectoral muscles showing underneath the mantle of his own comically short wings. He also has a dank little cape.
Oh, damn. Glynis is jealous of the Dink Cape.
It's a
but
dank cape.
Glynis swallows as much of the fear as he can down, and he says, "Walk with me, demon. I will hear what you have to say." And I stride past my father and go to like lead him up. I want to lead him to like a rooftop or something. And if he questions why, I'm like, for the drama, clearly.
Oh yeah, he's all about the drama. He's like, oh yeah, let's
like
go. Let's
we're about
talk.
to Hamlet this bitch, right?
Man to
Like,
man.
Get on up here.
As you head up to a balcony that is very romantic, overlooking the river of the moonlight and the stars, and you
It's
will...
the same one that
Yeah.
it's the same
It's the
one
same
that we had
one,
Sixpence None the Richer singing at before.
And the moon
memories
hits
from the
your
party.
eye. You hear in the distance.
Things were simpler.
Things were simpler back then. You stare at this creature who comes to you and holds up a hand as you begin to talk at him, being demanding, and say, "Tonight is no longer a night of liars, no matter how honest those liars be. Glynis, I will be blunt. Your ambition, fostered these past months, has impressed me. I am Sigmumoth, a agent of Mephistopheles, and I would like to invite you into a new court with you as its king."
I see. I looked at him ponderingly for a moment, and I say, "Tell me of this new court that I would lead, then."
It
What
would
is it?
be a land without want, for it would be protected, guarded by an immortal army that you could command. At least a portion of. The royal guard would be yours, solely yours, and whoever else you wish to command it. You would watch as your crumbling wooden tenement, so easily burned by these backwater barbarians who embrace in rituals to unworthy gods, turn to towers of stone, uncollapsible, like daggers pointed towards the sky. You would dominate
like stone
this
towers.
river. You would take over both Niord and Bulia, their corrupt, beyond measure governments, their mortal failings causing so much suffering within the human population. Swan will be difficult. The creatures he has aligned with are regrettably unchangeable in their ways. Their arrogance and pride as the first creations of some pantheon has blinded them to the opportunity that we offer. We need very little in the way of sustenance here upon your world. It is fresh with
I like
life.
wave my hand in a like dismissive manner to like shut him up, and I look at him and say, "Very well, I understand the gist of it. And what is the cost of this? What do you desire of me, fiend?"
I desire nothing. My
Then
master
what does your master desire?
desires your friendship, your honesty.
Have I ever been aught but honest, Bryce?
You are
I
very
refuse
much
to
like
name
your
him.
father. You hide things. You mistrust. Undoubtedly, your father's manipulation. I don't know what goes on inside that head of yours, Your Highness. But were you to give my master your honest word, your friendship, you would see the boons of the empires of the Second Age and face none of the consequences, so long as you do not betray our trust. With a flick of our wrist, we could repel this invasion right now, give you all of the glory, lead you in front of a invincible army to these pathetic creatures' standards.
I nod and say, I'm sure, all of that and more. So, where is your master then now?
Mephistopheles himself is not here at present, though he wishes to join you. He wishes to meet you.
And how would that happen?
Same way it has happened in the past. Either you go to him, or he comes to you.
Can you not take me there?
In a manner of speaking.
It is tempting. Everything I ever wanted. But I still need to hear from him, I suppose. Come then. Step forward and take me there. And as I say this, I place my mental energy. I've been working on a cage out of my own life energy for some time to control dark spirits. And I start forming that mental cage, and I push it into a sword. I push it into the silver blade, and I expend slowly, 1 point at a time, as I build each wall of this cave, all 5 of my key points, as I place them into this sword. And I open my arm up to be come, take me to your fucking leader. And I expect him to make some kind of movement. And if he doesn't, I will step to him as if I'm going to put a hand over his shoulder and we're going to walk somewhere, right? And as he does that, I pull this sword out and I stab it through his back into my chest. And I attempt to put the presence of this demon in that cage inside of this hole that I've made. I want to imprison this demon somewhere inside of me.
Give me a deception check to pull this off.
All right.
For you must make that distance.
So 4.
As you prepare, your body tenses, your heart begins to beat faster and faster. Your head is losing focus for a moment just by the adrenaline in your system. Your ki is being channeled forward as though you are summoning all of the mental will of your entire life. Glynis. And as you put your hand upon your sword, looking for it, seeking it without alerting this demon, you will see the biggest smile upon this fanged creature's face, and he will compliment you, saying, "It is that ambition that you so wish to hide that has attracted my master to you. You may come at me as you wish, your highness." And as deception Not your strongest of suit, strongest.
Yeah,
of
no,
suits.
not so much.
We will end our session here on the cliffhanger of if Glynis pulls his blade free, or if something else will happen before or after. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today at the Ordeals of Livistio show. I'm going to calculate experience. As we do that. Thank you. Thanks. Woo! Glad you're having a good time. It's one ordeal after the
John a
other,
hand for
huh?
See you next Sunday. You need a CUNS shirt or fan.
Guys, let's go around the table. Say what reputation we get.
See you next time. See you next time. It was right there.
Yeah. My brain's fried from that dramatic encounter.
But it also
Glenn-
means cunt.
Thanks, man. I couldn't tell. It wasn't
if we're-
subtle.
If we're yelling out ambitions or reputations, yeah, I think is that more ambition for Glynis?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I'm gonna go stab this guy.
Isn't that weird?
Hey guys, hold down the fort. I'm gonna go stab a fucking demon.
Let me stab this archfiend to death real quick, please. Hell yeah.
I never really thought I could beat him, but I thought maybe if he made me an offer of power, I could accept it and then, like,
Betray him.
renege dramatically. But he was like, I want you to meet my daddy. And I was like, well, this is going to be less cool. But I'll still try. Yeah.
So what reputation would Glynis get from that?
Man.
Ambition.
Tyranny for
Okay.
leaving us back at camp?
Fucker.
Well, he didn't accept it. If he accepts the deal, then yeah, it's tyranny. Okay.
Yeah. He's not accepted deal yet. He is ambitiously trying to fight single-handedly with
No.
one sword and some key.
I think he gets honor. He is taking
Honor?
on all of the responsibility of his nation, of his people. He stepped into, effectively, the line of fire. He didn't know what Smiling Sam would have done. As he, like, bodied, effectively, the investigative manservant, quote-unquote, to find...
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's some honor, or loyalty. Whichever one you prefer, Greg.
I think this
Honor.
was... I think
Self-sacrifice is honorable.
Yeah, exactly. Henry, that is on it as usual.
Based. I also want to give honor out to Snefru, who stuck to his guns, stuck to the order. You know, there are some unbrimmed-hatted... Wait, are you disappointed in that?
No, it just surprised me.
Did it? You were like, when Yonsei is like hedging bets and like trying to find the nuance of like, no, it's fucking demons. We don't negotiate with these fuckers. We have to report this. We have to get the message out, and we gotta send this person I hate. You absolutely despise this person. But in their state of vulnerability, when it would be so easy, like, John, it's literally like, John, I slit her throat. Like, no. You are an honorable man, Snefru, at least in this one moment. Congratulations. Take your free point of honor.
Okay.
And now you can
that gives
argue
me
for
what,
something else
2?
if you want.
I'm at 3
I
honor,
think you're at a
guys.
3 honor now, yeah.
Huge.
Amazing numbers.
Oh god.
Gonna have to
Monster-
have a talk with Glynis later about stealing my titles.
Okay. Ursale dies him. Yonsei, there's so much for you here. Like, infiltrating the keep as Glynis twice.
I would have done it a third time if Glynis hadn't gone and been like,
Oh,
Hi,
you would have
Smiling
accepted
Sam.
the deal?
Yonsei would have done it again. And Yonsei would have lied better.
True.
I saved myself a first level spell so I could do Disguise Self again if I needed to.
It's unfortunate your cousin decided to take this out on his own.
Shame.
Okay.
Really missed.
I mean, that's a
Man.
possibility.
We write him off immediately.
I mean, it would be really
Bro's
funny
dead.
if Glynis dies and then Yonsei just becomes Glynis, right? No one really knows. It just takes over.
I was thinking about it and I was like, God fucking damn it. Like,
But it's only 3 hours a day.
but it makes such good theater. That's such good poetry.
She would, or Yonsei would just like not need the magic most of the time, right? A really good bit of makeup and some clothes, right? Like,
Yeah, a
this is
wig.
doable. Yeah.
Yonsei is writing up a letter to Grandpa. Be like, Granddaddy, we're in trouble.
Help.
Snefru is also
Uh-oh.
writing a letter to Brimland.
Bramlandy, we're in trouble.
Dyson
Yeah.
probably gets loyalty.
I just think we're gonna have a real bad time.
I think Daizum gets ambition because Daizum was like, we might need allies. What if we sided with the Neordians real quick, Bryce? Like, what if we like turn coat like all the way to like save the kingdom from demons, right?
Look,
like that's
I
a
made
very
a good
ambitious
impression.
play.
I made a good first impression. I could go over there probably and not immediately get murdered.
I feel like that's also like in honor though of like
Sure. Yeah.
it's like doing what is best for, you know, everyone as a whole, as opposed to what's just good for Livistio. What's better for everyone is that there's not demons taking over an entire country, and so we set
So-
aside our hatred to do that.
For loyalty, I guess I need to go over definitions again. Loyalty is to country or like to an
In
ideal.
the
like-
document that John originally put out, it says to the prince character. But I think we've played it largely. Yes, it does, John.
Is it really?
But I think largely we've been playing it as like to king and country.
Yeah, and honorable is like stuff that, you know, would be considered like fairy tale-ish honorable almost, you know.
Like chivalric, yeah.
Yeah. And then servility is the opposite of ambition, of literally putting aside your own like, wants and desires in service of the prince, who often asks us to do things we don't want to do, like stay behind. I think Daizum should get something for holding down his part of the city so well.
It's fair.
I think that was the shining moment for Daizum, is being able to do that.
I'm just doing my job. These are my homies.
Did it very well.
I wasn't gonna let them die.
Then
I don't know what
feel
that is,
free to take a point in not letting your homies die. Also known as honor. We're very honorable in war, guys, it seems. Ursale, do you get anything?
I get a point in letting my homies die.
Ambition.
Yeah, ambition.
07 homies. Didn't stand a chance.
Like,
I had to
Dyson does
look
not
cool,
want to
sorry.
like fully leave the city because he just fought for like 2 days with the same guys who he's been trying to keep alive. I'm not gonna just abandon them now. Like, oh, whoops, demons are here later, guys. Like, no.
Your
we gotta
friendships are
get-
stronger with these unnamed mooks than they are with your current party members. Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
I didn't fight for 2 days straight to just leave these guys to die.
They're his disciples, John.
Glynis demanded I was a general to these people. I'm gonna general my way out of this way.
Okay.
Neordian peace treaty actually sounds pretty good right now.
Hey guys, can we have a truce? My dad's a fucking demon worshiper. I gotta kill him real
Hey
quick.
guys! Hey guys!
Just 2 weeks? 2 weeks sound good?
The world's gonna like burn. We don't take care of this.
What do we give Ursale for this week?
I heard ambition.
Ambition for specifically going ahead and just
Letting his
Fuck
friends
him.
die so he could get cooler kills.
Yeah.
True. Truly heroic Ursale.
Being a bad
Forging
general.
ahead in glorious single combat is like a chivalric, ambitious thing, right? That's
Yeah, if
what-
everyone behind you is dying.
No,
No,
but like
that's-
chivalric in the Arthurian. It's like an Arthurianly ambitious thing to do, right?
Lancelot,
Like, many
in
of the
book-
knights of the round would
Yeah.
like viciously fight for honorable glory rather than like tactically do it right. That does sound ambitious in that context to me.
Hell yeah. I remember there being an excerpt of the King Arthur book I had to read in middle school, where it just described Lancelot leaving behind all the other knights and just stealing all the glory. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what good old Ursale did. However, he didn't leave behind Arthurian knights who could, like, defend themselves. It's like, literally like Joe Bob from the lumber mill. It's like, I'll fight you, and then he just gets javelined to death. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Poor Joe Bob.
Okay, guys, if that is all, please take 1,000 experience home. As quests have been discovered, relationships have been, let's call them resolved, as you've finally figured them out. Mysteries have been revealed, and the dynamic between Bryce Bronson and the King has been made public, I suppose.
I knew it from the very beginning.
You knew it. True. John laid it on thick.
I've been
apparently.
calling it. I'd been calling it this whole time.
Yeah,
When
those
do you
horse
level
guys
up?
are like ultra dead.
I still think
We're
Bryce
never
is a good guy. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's clearly isn't the
motherfucker.
real Bryce Bronson. Like, he's been kidnapped somewhere. We need to find him. It's finally like Sam doesn't realize what's going on. Like, we need to save Bryce Bronson.
It's ridiculous.
Are
we
Got us
leveling,
into this
guys?
mess in the first place.
What's your
What did I
experience?
get? What did I?
You got 1,000 experience.
What reputation
For-
did Yonsei get?
Yeah.
Servility?
Loyalty?
Loyalty. Yeah.
Loyalty? Yeah.
Let's see.
John, you get reputation for drama.
No, you do not level up. Not close.
I level up though in real life for being a dramatician.
John, I want you to know this session has made me both love you more and hate you more for what you have done to us.
I'm glad. Guys, I hope you had fun, but I am exhausted and I'm still feeling a little bit sick, so I'm gonna head out here. You all have a lovely afternoon, night, evening, wherever you are, as I continue to seep down out of camera view. Don't die! Woo!